You are listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. The Glebe Central Pub, right in the heart of the Glebe, at 779 Bank Street. Awesome food, great drinks. The green beer, I bet, is flowing at the GCP. Their St. Patty's Day festivities. They got festivities of all kinds, and make sure you check out the Send Shuttle, just $17 to and from the CTC. Martian, record time home from the CTC. I'm Ross Levitan. Pilsy will jump by for a little boots on the ground birthday report. I'm sure he's into the rum and cokes. But Martian 7-2. The Sens lose to Carolina. They allow 5 unanswered goals, 4 in the third period. How did this one deteriorate into such a debacle?
Well, first of all, Ross, I can confirm that the rum and cokes are flowing for our friend Brandon Pillar. It's his birthday, so we expect nothing less from him here. However, I can't explain to you how this game got out of hand so fast. You know, going into the third period, the Sens were down by a goal. Things were looking good. They were playing well. Tim Stützle was out there buzzing, and it just unraveled. It was a downward spiral, Ross, you could say. They just absolutely fell apart. I'm not sure what happened. Forsberg wasn't playing his best game, that's for sure. I had a sweet little old lady sitting next to me. I swear she had to have been 100 years old, and she just kept on talking about how Forsberg loses his net. I think she goes to a lot of games, but she's not happy to see it, and neither were we. It was a tough way for this one to go down.
Man, we need to get her on the show. We need more analysis from her.
Ross, I don't know. She couldn't. I'm not gonna knock the lady, but she couldn't get up to let people through, which was completely understandable. But she was very old, but loves the Sens, so you got to give her all the credit in the world. Yeah, she was in there. She hung in there. But I wish the Sens could have put up a better effort for my little friend there.
Yeah, the 4-game point streak's over. The 3-game win streak is over, and some are calling it the most important loss of the season because Columbus also fell 6-1 to the Jets. So when you're looking at it, we said the Sens are going to win all of their remaining games because they're either going to win on the scoreboard and we can vibe a little bit out on the show, or they're going to lose and we're going to say, oh, well, that's good for the tank. So it's a win-win if you're a Sens fan that's as delusional as the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it that way, then yeah, sure. They've been winning a couple games here lately, and that's not perfect for the Tanks. So might as well let Jake Gensel, the new acquisition, and Kuznetsov, go out here for Carolina, those new guns that they've got rolling here. So they definitely had their way with Ottawa tonight. They were doing whatever they wanted out there, and that's the way it went down.
Well, Dmitry Orlov had 20 points coming into this game all season in 67 games. He gets 4 points, a career high for Carolina here. He almost had a hat trick, too. He almost ripped the shot after.
He looked good all night, too. Even before he scored that first goal, he was actually kind of holding in there nicely against the Sens. He was defending well, and that's kind of what he does. He's an effective defenseman, right-hander, too. I got to say, he would look pretty good in the Sens jersey. I'm not going to lie. So, Dmitry Orlov.
You've had a few of the left-handers, I'm sure, today. He's lefty. It's all good, though.
Oh, he's a left-hander. Okay. Yeah. Never mind, then.
His partner, though, Jalen Chatfield, also had 2
the right side, though. I feel like that the second goal he scored was from the right side.
Yeah, it was. Let me see on the lines, because Carolina, I mean, they're such a well-oiled machine. No, you might be thinking of Jalen Chatfield, who also was buzzing a little bit out there. I mean, Timmy put him in a blender, but other than that, he was solid.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just confused generally here, but yeah, no, Orlov definitely a good game. They had a few of their guns rolling here.
Yeah, that pass Aho made on I think the 4th goal at the end of the second period, or third goal. Then that was money.
He's a smooth character too out there. Aho, he's really good.
They really don't have a true superstar, but they got probably the most amount of quality players, you could say, in the league. Top to bottom, their lineup's pretty sick. And then there's the biggest gap ever. And then there's Brendan Lemieux right at the bottom.
Yeah, they're a well-rounded group. And yeah, Brendan Lemieux is an absolute non-factor out there. Complete brickhead. Nobody likes him. So
goes after the smallest guy. Goes after Branny of all guys. That's who he's going to pick in a scrum.
Of course, that's who he's going to pick on. Guy's
no surprise. No surprise. Hey, how close was Brady to changing the whole way this game played out? Right after Timmy tied it, I mean, he goes right to the net, hits the post. I mean, it's that close.
Yeah, That was a really good little move by him there, and you got to think he's going to bury that one. But I was saying it. We went down to one of the boxes during the intermission, and I think Brady maybe just got all his goal scoring out of his system for this weekend yesterday, because he had 3 yesterday, and you'd think that one would have been one of the easier ones for him to put home, and just wasn't quite able to get it all the way around and into the net there. But it would have been nice to see Ross. That would have been a definite momentum changer, that's for sure.
Well, it would have also been a highlight reel goal. And in the title, I said the Senators wasted 2 highlight reel goals. Like both Thomas Chabot, and he wasn't even supposed to play, missed the last 5 games, hadn't really skated with the team. Hamonic had been skating. Everybody just assumed that it was going to be Hamonic that plays. No, it's Chabot. He goes out, takes a hit from behind from the aforementioned Brickhead, and then he comes out next shift, takes a great feed in the neutral zone, and then just rips it short side into the back of the net. So I was very happy to see that for Thomas Chabot, and it continues the trend. We'll get to Timmy after, where I mentioned after yesterday's game, where it's the most important players for Ottawa that are scoring every single goal.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous shot. Me and Pilsy and the gang had a really nice angle on that one. He just kind of picked his spot there and went almost bar down there. It was as close as you can get to the toppest of the top shelf for us. So he absolutely ripped that thing. And yeah, coming off an injury, that's what you like to see from a guy. I know he had that period about a month ago where he was scoring lots of goals, shooting the puck a good amount, and he kind of picked up right where he left off there with that one. So good to see from old Tommy Chabot.
Yeah, offensively, defensively, a little bit to be desired. I mean, the chat's pointing at it as well. He was pinching below the goal line, and then all of a sudden, it's back. Yeah, not the best back check either, but. Him and Giroux both on the first 2 goals against you, kind of hoping for a little bit more from them, especially on home ice. Remember, Martian,
you come out of a game where you allow 7 goals and you come out with a plus, then, I'm not going to give him too much of a hard time there.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, let's get to the Sen's second goal, because we can talk about goaltending after the break. We'll try our best to find some Sen Central standouts in this game. A 7-2 loss to the Carolina Hurricanes, where it just deteriorated into a debacle, as Ray Ferraro once so aptly put it. We've used it probably a little more than we would like on this show, but it's very appropriate. And they have also changed the 7th goal of the game to Brendan Lemieux, tipped in that Brent Burns. Talk about insult to injury for the Ottawa Senators in tonight's game. Sensi Seth saying Shabby had 5 giveaways tonight. A few of them, a lot of them did. Look, this team, they just play bad. That's all that matters. But at the end of the day, we're going to look at a couple of the highlights just to make ourselves feel a little bit better of it. He also had 6 shots on goal, under 20 minutes played, but a lot of reasons why this team lost, and Chabot, sure, not immune from criticism. You look at him and Chychrun both, and they should be the big dogs on this team, right on the back end. We know Sandy's going to bring it every single night, but when I watch Chychrun again tonight, it's just like decision making. And I don't know how many times I can beat a dead horse before Chychrun rips the heart out and starts munching on it. But this is a guy who's dash 18 on the season, Martian. Like that's kind of unacceptable.
And defensive play, say what you will, but like the lack of physicality out of this guy, it kind of drives me nuts. Like he just
swings his stick. He just swings his stick.
Got a great stick. Let's give him that. But like he takes a lot of abuse out there too. And guys are taking liberties on him, and he's doing nothing about it. Like I would love to see a little passion out of Jacob Chychrun, where he decides to just either blow somebody up with a massive hit, where he comes out of there and he's a big body. He's going to do some damage to guys, right? Or you know what, Jake, you're a big, strong guy. You're rangy. Fight someone. Grab someone. Let's go. Let's show a little passion, a little emotion here. I know, Ross, it's tough with him sometimes. I don't want to give him almost too hard of a time, but it's hard not to sometimes too.
I know. He should just block it out. Okay, let's get to the other highlight. This was the best moment. You would have missed it because you were boots on the ground. Our guy, Johnny Abbott on TSN, hits us with a Timmy Superstar right on the goal call as well. Stützle toe drags Jalen Chatfield, rips a shot past the goaltender, and Johnny Abbott just goes, Timmy Superstar, lives up to his name, something like that. It was absolutely sick. So we love that from our guy, Johnny, who's going to be on the show in the next couple of weeks as well. But what'd you see from Tim Stützle on that play and his game overall? Because he was one of those guys, energetic at least, had a lot of jump. There were some defensive deficiencies, sure, but he was a guy who I thought had a good game tonight overall.
Yeah, and I don't want to dive too deep into his game here, Ross, because I do feel like he's going to be one of those guys who's going to end up being a Sen Central standout here. So we can get deeper into the game, his game generally later on in the show. However, that goal right there, that was highlight reel stuff. It was one of those ones where he made that initial toe drag and everybody in the building was like, ooh, and then he rips that thing home. So beautiful goal from Tim Stützle. So that's classic Timmy. I love to see that kind of play from him. He's, you said it. He was going out there tonight. He was going again. He's been playing good lately. So I won't go too much deeper than that. But
he's been going. That's a 6-game point streak now for Tim Stützle with a goal in this game today. Just had the 1 point, 1 goal. So that puts him up to 8 points during this 6-game point streak. All right. On the other side, we will get to our Sen Central standouts. Pilsy is en route to somewhere where he can find a quiet space and join us here to get his report. And I know you guys got some stories from the game today, so we'll get Pilsy in the mix for all that. But first, let me tell you that the vibes are free at the GCP. The Postcast is brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. You can find it right in the heart of the Glebe at 779 Bank Street. When you go there, make sure you let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. They've got great vibes. They got great food. They got great people. The serving staff, everybody is just all friendly all the time. They've also got nights like trivia, like open mic night, live music. Tonight, there's live music. There's always something going on at the Glebe Central Pub. You can also go check out their Send Shuttle bus. They've got just for $17 round trip. Sue, let us know in the chat how we feel about Sue, because she makes the wheels on the bus go round and round all the way out to the CTC and back for just $17. The next bus is on March 21st when the Senators host the St. Louis Blues. So get your tickets today and make sure you check out the Glebe Central Pub. Go check out the Glebe Central Pub. The Postcast is always brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. Tonight's Postcast is also brought to you by our friends with the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Locked On. FanDuel, where you can make every dollar count. And this is one of my favorite times of year to get on to FanDuel because it is March Madness, Selection Sunday, and then it is going to be wild going forward. So say goodbye to busted brackets because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tournament, whether you're betting big on a big upset or a 1 seed. It's time to go dancing on America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use point spreads, money lines. You can even pick who's going to win it all. Just visit us at fanduel.com/lockedon and bet on college hoops until they cut the net down. All right, welcome back to the Postcast. I'm Ross Levitan. That is The Martian. You can follow him on social media at Laleem's Martian. Pilsy is in the Uber. This guy, I can't wait to see him. Couple rum and cokes deep. What was the vibe like at the rink, Martian?
The one positive I'll take away from the night is the Sen Central citizens were out in full force for me and Pilsy here tonight. Usually we're used to having you kind of lead the way for us around the CTC. You find those little back alleyways, those little back staircases down at different levels, and you know how to navigate this thing better than anyone. Even me, I've been going there since I was like a 10-year-old kid, and without you, Ross, it's a little different. But we were doing our best, and we were rolling around out there, and we were getting shouted out by people all across the rink. We saw Dr. Bob. We had a couple of the gents. Nick Gratton and his boys were up in a 400 suite. They invited us up there for the second intermission. We popped up there for a quick pop and just to say hello, and the boys were excited to see us there. We were getting Jumbotron action, Ross, which is not something that I have had recently. I mean, not for the last couple of seasons. So it's fun to get on the Jumbotron, have your beers going. The boys were laughing, and I think even though the score wasn't perfect, I think Pilsy's on his way to having a really nice 31st birthday here.
Was Simone giving a bit of the eye roll as the attention Pilsy was getting?
Simone was as much in the mix as anyone, right? I don't know if she's
the best.
I don't know if she's ever seen that really in action before, but it was pretty funny when she's the one who ends up taking the photos of Pilsy and some of the citizens, right? It's pretty good stuff. So me and Pilsy had a great time. Pilsy's obviously a great sport. We went down as well, down to the company that I work for, is Box. We stopped in there, saw the boys, got a couple free bevies. That's the way we like to do things. So things are good. And we went to Bert's Bar prior to the game too. So we were well lubricated heading into this one and feeling good about things at that point. Also, I didn't realize that the game started at 6, which is so funny too. I thought it was a 7 o'clock start. I'm like, Pillsy, why are you there at 3:30? I'm like, I'll be there at 5, Pills. I know 2 hours before the game's good enough. You're like, it's a game. It starts at 6. I'm like, well, it shows how much I've been paying attention.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, even still, and we're going to pull up a stat here about our hot lunch. And if it's wrong, just blame hot lunch. But it's such an unbelievable stat that I've got to pull it up. Allegedly, the Sens are 26-1 when the Sens save percentage is equal or better than the opponent. And I hate to bring up goaltending because we are a hashtag goalie friendly show, but it is so often where we look at the end of the game and like tonight, they've got an .816 save percentage. You're just not going to win games against any team. You're not going to beat the San Jose Sharks. Oh, wait, they didn't beat the San Jose Sharks with an .816 save percentage.
No, you're not going to win very many games at all with an .816 save percentage. I can say that with confidence, Ross. And yeah, yet again, I mean, the game kind of slipped away late in this one. I think if for the first 2 periods, I thought Forsberg was actually playing pretty decent. There was times in the game where he made some good saves, and the ones they kind of needed him to make, and it just got away from him. I don't know what happened. You could tell, me and Pilsy were talking about it quite a bit in that first period, especially. They were targeting his glove hand like crazy. Like every shot, it seemed like no matter where they were coming from, they were aiming glove. So I don't know if there's like a bit of a book on Forsberg in that regard. I know I ended up missing a few of Carolina's goals, the one at the beginning of the second period and the one at the beginning of the third period. I'm not sure if they ended up going glove side on him or what, but listen, it's not perfect, Ross. He needs to save more of those shots. But at the same time, the team needs to produce more offense than 2 goals as well. So, like, I mean, you can end up having a goalie who's not playing well, but if you're not scoring goals, you can't really blame him because it's going the other way. It's you need to produce offense as well. You're muted, but
I didn't really have anything to say anyways. I just gave it a big sigh.
I saw the sigh. It sounded heavy.
Did you feel it? No, we haven't spun the tankathon wheel yet, Davey. We will. We're waiting for the birthday boy to get the tankathon wheel.
I honestly Pilsy, Sam, and Simone are out there right now having a great time.
They're Pilsy wrote in the group chat. He's in the Uber.
Oh, he's
10, 15 minutes ago.
Call in from the hotel room. Let's do our standouts anyways.
Sure. Sens Central standouts presented by the Glebe Central Pub. Sens lose 7-2 tonight to the Carolina Hurricanes. They get outshot by Carolina 38-33. The Ottawa Senators get 23 hits to Carolina's 18. Ottawa blocks 15 shots. Carolina blocks 10. Ottawa goes 0 for 2 on the power play. Carolina goes 1 for 3 on the power play. That was a 5-on-4 goal, but just as the 5-on-3 power play had expired.
Yeah,
Lead us off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right ahead, and I'm gonna jump into. Do you want me to take Timmy Stützle? I mean, we talked about him already a little bit here, but
feel free.
I feel like I'm going to. I'm gonna have to. Well, actually, damn, I've already said his name, so I have to take him. I'm gonna go Tim Stützle. He was buzzing around out there. He was stick handling quite a bit. Didn't get as much ice time as he's been getting the last few games. So I know they've been going to overtime quite a bit, but 18:48, not like he was getting benched or anything like that out there, but he was effective tonight. I feel like Timmy was one of the few guys you looked at, and I could hear people around me be like, "Who's that guy? Who's this guy?" And it was always Tim Stützle who had the puck on his stick. 4 shots on goal tonight for him. He obviously had that really nice goal as well. That was a great play. He had a few different chances where he was creating out there, where he was dangling guys and not falling and not giving up the puck quite as much as usual. Maybe comes out of dash 2, which isn't perfect either. Doesn't look like he even took any faceoffs, or he was just 0% in the dot if he was. But either way, I did think Timmy had a good night. So was he like 0 for 3 or something in the dot?
Exactly 0 for 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I mean, Carolina's a good faceoff team as a whole, and Ottawa did win the faceoff battle barely. It was 25 for Carolina, 26 for Ottawa in the faceoff circle. But yeah, I thought Timmy was buzzing. Kind of funny. Even they posted the tweet of Timmy's goal, and other teams fans like he even dives when he scores because he was kind of falling down as he scored there. But I also do like the fact that that he is kind of being a little more consistent, and hopefully he can carry in that confidence, because he's so hard on himself, that he can carry that in to the offseason and beyond, more importantly. My first and probably only Sens Central standout in this game is Brady Tkachuk. He's been leading by example. Loved his game again today. He's the guy who gave Thomas Chabot that great feed for his goal early in this game. He also had 7 shots on goal in this game, had 4 hits, 66% in the dot. I'd imagine he went 2 for 3, but even still, I really like the way Brady's leading this team. It's unfortunate they can't get a save at the right time, and it's extremely frustrating, but I think that a lot of the heat should be going away from Brady Tkachuk, especially of late. I mean, the hat trick yesterday, gets an assist today. For me, this team has about 99 problems, none of which are Brady Tkachuk. So give him a shout out today. Another good performance from the captain.
Yeah, definitely. And it's sad to watch that, all these great Brady Tkachuk performances are going to waste because it means nothing at this point in the season. So it's sad to see, but it's good. It's a good sign that he's not going away. He could easily tuck his tail between his legs and just pack this season in and just say, you know what, screw it. I'm waiting to go hang out on the beach with my brother in Florida in the off season, but he's still giving it his all out there. And that's, that's a testament to him, knowing that the fans are still in the building, paying their good money to go watch him play. So don't expect Brady to not give a good effort any given night when he's wearing that uniform.
What was the crowd like tonight? I know Pillsy thought it was a sleepy start, but was it a good crowd?
You know what? It wasn't a great crowd. I think it was a 16,000 something people in there, which I was expecting maybe a little bit more, or maybe a little bit more of a rowdy crowd too, because it's St. Patrick's Day. People want to get in there and get a few bevies going. But it is
at least it wasn't. I feel like over the years, and I've been to a couple of them, sometimes it's the Sens and Leafs on St. Patty's Day, and that's just a recipe for disaster when those three get on.
St. Pillsy has also entered the studio, as I can see, so maybe we just get right to him here.
Do we make him choose the Sens Central standout despite there being slim pickings?
Yeah, I mean, like there's definitely one more guy who I would say is worthy. So we'll see what Pillsy says.
Are we gonna sing?
No.
What's up, fella?
Hey, what's up, boys?
You having fun?
Long time no see.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. I mean, the Sens didn't really help out, unfortunately, but we had a good time. Martian and I had some screen time on the Jumbotron. That was fun. And Tim Stützle had a nice goal. Other than that, it was high glove on Anton Forsberg night. And that's all she wrote.
Where are you at right now?
We're at the Crazy Horse.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah,
the Sunday
just
special.
got here, drinks on the way, so.
Love that. So who's your Sens Central? Go ahead.
For the replay,
how are the vibes in the postcast? Are we venting, vibing, tank cast? What's going on?
It was a game. They played hockey today. They lost.
It got out of control real quick. And Ross, you'll love this. In classic fashion, we missed Martian. How many goals did we miss being in the concourse? 3?
2.
Just 2. Okay, yeah. Like, it's not a Sens game if when we're there we don't miss goals in being in the concourse. But luckily, this time we didn't miss any Sens goals. It's just Hurricanes goals, which we saw enough of those, so it's not that big of a deal.
My favorite one was that first one we had the meetup for, where it was the Sens Habs game, and we missed like 3 Sens goals. Bingo, bango, bongo, right away.
It was brutal, but it was still a good time. It was great to get back to the CTC. It was good to meet some people at the game. St. Patty's Day. This is the first time I've been able to go to a game on my birthday, so that was a blast. Had the St. Patty's hat. No green beers. Was there green beers at all in the rink, though? It didn't seem like they were selling the green beers, so that's a little disappointing. We'll talk to them about that for next year. Maybe get a win next time around. That, as Ross, as you tweeted out, that deteriorated into a debacle.
That's what I led this show with as well. And I said we've used that way too much, but there's no real other way to put it. 3 goals on 5 shots from a 3-2 game to all of a sudden it's just completely out of reach.
Yeah, like I thought there was going to be a chance here at the very least to go to overtime. Pillsy's parlay of the day was Sens plus 1.5 in the over. I thought it was going to hit. And here we are.
The over hit for you, buddy.
The over hit.
Yeah, but unfortunately the way parlays work. You know what? I should have had the hindsight to do Sens plus 5.5. That should have been the move.
Why wasn't it?
What?
Why wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should be to blame here, but I thought they weren't going to lose by 5. Or
They did, though.
I hope
They did.
In a way, though, you did, Pills, because we both sat down at the first bar and we said, I got a bad feeling about this one.
Yeah, I mean, it sends Hurricanes. Like, it's always.
My first question to Pillsy, I go, do you think they're going to get thumped? He goes, I don't know. I hope not.
So Ottawa goes 0-3-0 against Carolina this year. They went 1-1-1 last year. So math guy, that's 1-4-1 in their last 6 games. And they actually had a lot of success against them in the 21-22 season, went 2-0-1. So they're 1-4-1 now in their last 6 games against the Carolina Hurricanes. But Pillsy, overall, good vibes, good birthday. You're enjoying yourself?
Oh, yeah, it's still a great time. It's always nice being around Sens fans. Got to meet a couple new people. Dr. Bob, of course, got in the mix. Yeah, I wish the game was a little closer than 7-2, but other than that, it was a good time. But I will say, unfortunately, that was a sleepy CTC. Like, I mean, especially when it becomes a 7-2 game. And it's Sunday night, fair, but, like, a little sleepy in there. But
yeah,
we did our best to turn things around.
You're used to those home openers, buddy. Those are a different breed. It's either like between the home opener and the playoffs, you can start to tell the difference almost sometimes. But yeah, the CTC's like that pretty normally, actually. So
yeah, that's fair. It was bad vibes when the Sens came out in the road jerseys, and the Carolina jerseys looked so similar to the Sens homes jerseys. I feel like at that very moment, you knew it was destined to fail.
Yeah, my wife was sitting next to me on the couch while we were watching the game, and when the first goal went in, she's like, "Why aren't you cheering?" I was like, "Oh, that was the other team."
The classic mix-up. Ross,
yeah.
You know better than anyone that the first goal in a hockey game is never the Ottawa Senators.
No, I had 3 units on. It was the only bet I won today.
Smart.
So, away she goes. Way she goes. Pillsy, any final thoughts from you on today's show? Because we got to let you get back. Are you riding the bull tonight at the Crazy Horse?
No, if I ride the bull, I'm pulling my adductor muscle immediately, so I can't be doing that.
Is the bull in there, Pillsy? Usually that's a Wednesday setup.
No, actually, I don't think the bull's not here. The bull's
you get to ride a leprechaun instead today.
Sure. Yeah. Final thoughts for me is we'll be better next year.
Next year, buddy, we got 16 games of this left.
That's true. No. Scratch that. Not my final thought. Final thought for me is we will be better in Winnipeg, in Minnesota, and for the home closer.
Hell yeah.
We will be better for those.
Hell yeah. Happy birthday, brother. We love you. We want you to have a great night, and we will chat tomorrow on the Locked On Senators podcast. That is Brandon Pillar, 31-year-old Brandon
guys.
Pillar. Let's get some peas in the chat for Brandon Pillar. Pillsy, enjoy the night, brother. There goes the man, myth, legend, Brandon Pillar. Martian, final thoughts from you on tonight's postcast.
Yeah, I mean, it just unraveled quick here for the Sens tonight. They looked like they were going to be out there ready to play. A couple teams on a back-to-back night here, and they just weren't able to hold in there for the full 60 minutes. It was like a solid 48 minutes or so. Not a consistent effort from them here tonight. So unfortunately, things got away from them. St. Paddy's Day. I mean, there's a lot of people out there probably who this night got away from them. Guaranteeing it. I'm probably going to be walking up and down Sandy Hill and looking for puddles of puke to not step in. So it's going to get away from those people, and it got away from the Sens here tonight. Hopefully they can at least make the rest of the season entertaining for the boys.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't get Pillsy to take one. We need to finish off. The chat's already on it, as we can always expect the chat to come through. We got to get a spin before it's all said and done here on the Tankathon. But before I get to that, like,
I don't even want to do it. Forget it. No, it's no fun. Tough to watch. Just one spin then. Just one.
We always do one spin each, man. What are you talking about?
I don't want one. Do two.
Now,
then.
it was a good night for the Tank in terms of, like, if Ottawa's going to lose, I guess it's not a great night. It's a necessary night because Columbus also lost. They got waxed. By the way, Winnipeg is now 18-5-4 against the Eastern Conference. They have a 4-game road trip right now, all against these teams. And then their final game against the East is the one Pilsy and I are going to be at.
Okay. Place your bets accordingly, Ross. And also, just a fun thing, Detroit lost again tonight, so that's kind of nice. So
Yep, that's
Pittsburgh.
nice.
Yeah.
And the thing that I want Pittsburgh to win a few games down the stretch, because as you can see here, they have that lock beside their pick. If they're not a top 10 pick, they lose it to San Jose. So wouldn't it be great if it's like 11th overall, they lose the pick, and then they kind of have to punt the rebuild a little further? Like, to me, that would be ideal. So I want Pittsburgh to go on a bit of a push here and just fall short, draft in that 12 to 15 range. So that's my detailed hope, is that Detroit just misses and that the Pittsburgh Penguins draft around 11th here. Okay, the Citizens were horny for one, so here, let's give them a spin right off the bat.
Yeah, spin these things quick. Get this thing out of my face.
Oh, that's worst case.
I want to vomit.
Montreal moves up 6 spots, drafts first overall. San Jose down 1, and Minnesota jumps up 10 spots, but only up to number 4. Ottawa down 2 spots to number 8. So literally, that is the worst case scenario.
Yes.
Worst case.
But luckily, it's not reality. This is just a simulation.
You really failed us on that one. All right, Martian, here's your spin. I know you're excited about this one. Chicago moves up 1 spot. Arizona to number 2. Ottawa stays steady.
I feel like that happens every time. It's like Gary Bettman is running Tankathon.
At number 6. All right, here's my spin. Don't worry, I'll come through for us. Oh, would we want that?
Dude.
Montreal drafts first overall, and Ottawa drafts second.
Yeah, no, that's actually what you like.
Right. But not when it's like there's a clear-cut number 1.
I don't care about Montreal. They're not going to be a factor for a few years, although they are ahead of the Sens in the standings somehow. So whatever.
Identical points percentage.
Anyways, that's fine with me as long as the Sens end up with the best possible pick. Pillsy will love this result, so let's go with that.
I'm gonna give a smile and a thumbs up for Pillsy. I'm screenshotting this for. That's the Pillsy way. All right, we love it.
Montreal getting first overall is disgusting, but yeah, whatever.
Dude, could you imagine if it comes down to that final home game for Ottawa where it's Sens and Montreal,
and it's whoever loses gets first overall?
No. Whoever wins that game finishes higher in the standings. Now, both teams play twice after, and get this, we're going to be cheering for Montreal the final 2 games of the season in all likelihood. They've got a home and home against Detroit to wrap up the season.
You won't find me cheering for Montreal.
You're going to cheer for Detroit to make the playoffs if that's what it comes down to?
Whatever. Doesn't matter to me.
You're just going to pretend like those games don't even happen.
Oh, Detroit making the playoffs doesn't change my life at all. They're not going to win the cup, so whatever. Let them make it and let them get eliminated. I don't care. I actually don't care. I haven't taken off
this merch since Friday.
It's
actually
angry young man.
Yeah. Well, you'll be fine, buddy. The Sens play again on Tuesday.
True. I will be fine. And I'll probably watch that crap.
Locked On Senators is back tomorrow. It's one of our, the Sens play back-to-back games the weekend. Why don't we do, if you're counting the postcast as well during the week, I was going to say a 7-day Locked On Senators week, but we also did 2 postcasts during the week. So make it 9 episodes of Locked On Senators over the last 7 days. And what are we going to do? We're going to do 7 more next week. Let's go. We are your team every day. That's the Martian. Make sure you're following him on social media at Lalim's Martian. I'm Ross Levitan. You can follow the show at Sens Central on Twitter. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Draft coverage coming soon. And the good news is the way that I've organized this draft, the top 10 based on our 7 scouts, things are subject to change, but there's like a top 10 that I really like. So we're really splitting hairs whether the Sens draft 6th or 9th in my book, but they cannot draft lower than 10. That's my TED Talk to wrap up the show. That's the Martian. I'm Ross Levitan. We're a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now, I wish I could do you guys a St. Paddy's Day favor, but I can't. No danger, flutes. We're riding out to this.